Hello friends, and welcome to our Friday mobility class. This is Tamara and I am here with the University of California, Davis and the Live Well department, transmitting from sunny and hot Davis, California. It's a lovely day out here, and because I am teaching from the back porch, just want to remind you to drink enough water. We don't realize, but we can get pretty dehydrated really fast. So just remember to sip on that water every once in a while. I'm doing it too. All right, so today for our mobility class, we're gonna be working on the ribs, the rib cage. And the ribs are not just here in front, they're also back here. They're also up here and up here. So a lot of the things we're going to do today are also going to, we're also going to feel it a lot in our shoulders. Hi, Yogi. So for today's class, we will need a few things. We'll need a foam roller. And if you don't have a foam roller, you can modify using one of those roller things to knead bread. I still haven't had anyone tell me what that's called in English. What is it called? The round wooden cylinder that you use to knead bread. Can someone tell me what it's called? I don't know yet. In Spanish, it's rodillo. Like, I don't know, like rolly thing, I don't know. Anyway, so this will be very helpful. We'll also need a broomstick. So just most brooms you can just unscrew the brush part off. And we'll also need a small towel or a thick, I would say actually a small blanket or a thick towel, so we can roll it and we'll make a blanket burrito, something like this. Okay, and of course you'll also need your yoga mat and a wall, so make sure that you have free wall space for some of the things we will do. Okay, so putting everything to the side for a moment so we can start. All right, so let's take a moment seated. You can be cross-legged or with your knees folded back. You can also be seated on a chair. And I just want us to take a moment to bring your hands to your abdomen with the thumb touching the lower rib, so you can feel the bone right there. And I'm gonna tilt a little bit lower. So just feel where the edge of the lower rib is. And then with your pinky finger, find the front bone of your hip. And then let the other fingers just rest in your belly. And let's take a few breaths here, just feeling how our body moves with the breath. And that space, the relationship between the ribs and the pelvis in the front of our body. Relax the shoulders. Close your eyes for a moment. And let's take a few deep breaths here, just noticing. And slowly release. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, release your arms out to the sides. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And bring your right fingertips to the floor. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over. Exhale to change sides. Let's do 2 more to each side. And let's hold here. Your left arm up and over. And just turn your ribs to look up to the sky and down to the floor. Very soft. Starting to bring movement and awareness to the rib cage. And let's go to the other side. Just turning to look up and down. And think about turning the sternum, that bone in the center of the front rib cage. And release. Interlace your fingers. I'm going to scoot back just a little bit more. All right. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms forward and up. So we'll move with the breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And when you bring the palms up and get that big stretch and push with the hands, think about drawing the ribs down, closing this space between the ribs and the pelvis. So let's begin. Let's do 10. And 10. Release. Roll the shoulders back. Release any tension from that previous exercise. And we'll go again. Interlace the fingers. This time, interlace them the way that feels unusual. So there's a habitual way we interlace our fingers with one thumb on top. Try the other way. Take the arms up, press the palms up, and now circle with your rib cage. Big, big, big circle. And go in the other direction. And release. Shoulders back. And now interlace your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back and down. And press your knuckles down towards the floor. And release. Shake the arms out. Ooh, I'm sweating out here. Feels good though. All right, let's extend the legs, shake them out. And let's slowly come up to standing. Any way that feels good to transition to standing. Rolling the spine up. All right. And I will now tilt us. Okay. How do I turn that off? Anyway, oh, there. Okay. So now we are standing. Great. Just make sure that you don't have any obstacles nearby. Stand with your feet a little bit wider on your hips and let your knees be receptive. Let them be soft. And swing the arms side to side. Make fists with your hands. And as you're turning to look all the way behind you, tap with your fist in the front of your body, between the shoulder and the chest, and behind you, just below the shoulder blade. Slow it down. And now let's tap our back and start to roll your spine forward. Keep tapping, tapping, tapping. Come to fold forward and tap down your low back. And release. Shake out your head and slowly roll up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Okay. Still feel like we need a little bit more standing space. All right. Okay. Interlace your fingers, and we're going to bring the fingers behind our head. So I'm going to show this in profile, and we're going to move. This is going to be with the breath. At the top of the inhale, we'll arch the spine back, open the elbows, open the chest, and as we exhale, bring the elbows forward, round the back, bend the knees, and bring the elbows to your knees. Inhale, rolling back up to standing, top of the inhale, open the elbows, arch the spine, look up. All right. So we'll do this with the breath. Still trying to find the angle that I want. Oh, geez. Might be time to invest in some new camera equipment, huh? Okay. Oh, now it's too high. Who wants to come and be my cameraman? That would be sweet, huh? To have some technical support. All right, that's good. Can't seem to get it how I want it. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, so let's go to our exercise. On the inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, elbows forward, belly in, roll the spine down, touch the knees. Inhale, roll up. And finish the inhale, opening up here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do 3 more. And release. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Release. Let's do 2 more. All right. Good. Stand with your feet wide. All right, and we're going to speed it up a little bit. We're still going to move with the breath. So this time, we'll come to a side bend. So we'll open the side of the rib cage. So what I want you to think about is your hands pushing in opposite directions. Push, back to center, push, and back to center. So we'll use the power of the exhale for that push. Inhale, back here. Exhale, strong, push. Inhale, center. And we'll go a little bit fast. We'll speed it up, but we'll start slow. So let's begin. Go a little bit faster. And faster. And finish. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. release. 2 more. Exhaling through the mouth. Great. So by using the breath, the power of the breath, we're using it to mobilize our ribs. So our ribs hold our thoracic cavity. They are the cage that holds the lungs and the heart. And the bottom, the floor, is the diaphragm, which is a muscle that's like a parachute in the center of our body that helps with the movements of the breath. So we're using the breath in a powerful way to create space in our rib cage. All right, so now we're going to do something similar, but instead of going over or for a side bend, we're going to twist. So also thinking about pushing with your hands strong to the side, and the elbow in the back reaches back. So I'm going to show it back view. The back elbow presses back, and you turn. We're turning to look almost all the way behind us, or all the way behind us if you can. This is what it's going to look like with a powerful exhale. All right, so just make sure that your feet and your knees are in a comfortable angle and that you're not feeling any tweaking sensation in your knees. You want the knees to be receptive and to bounce and move following the movement. Okay, just like we did before, we'll do 5 breaths to each side at 3 different speeds. So we'll start slow. Speed it up. And speed it up even more. And bring it back to center. Big breath up. Exhale softly through the mouth. 2 more. Soft inhale through the nose, soft exhale through the mouth. 1 more. All right, and shake it out, release the shoulders, swing the arms, move the head. Release any tension. So when we're doing these exercises we have to think about it, they're going in a specific direction, we might create some tension in our body just trying to do it right. So it's very important that we release, shake it out, so we're not holding, so that the exercises are not leaving any residual tension that we don't need. All right, so let's find, should we do our stick first or the wall first? Let's do the wall first. Okay, so have a clear wall. Make sure you're not knocking off any art or any pictures off the wall. We don't want that to happen. Okay, and so we'll come to the wall, bringing our hands, spreading the fingers to the wall, and walk your hips back. So we want the hands to end up more or less at the level of our hips. Take your feet wide and bend your knees. We don't care here about extending our hamstrings, so bend your knees as much as you need to get that straight line, that extension from your wrist all the way back to your sit bones. All right. Find that extension, and now we're gonna play here with the tilt of the hips. Tilting the front hip bones forward, creating a more prominent lumbar arch. And then bring the belly in, press the pubic bone forward, and squeeze the rib cage down. So here we open the space between the rib cage and the pubic and the front pelvic bone, and here we're closing that gap. Move here, feeling that relationship of the angle of the hips and the rib cage. All right, and release. Shake it up. So now we're going to try to sustain the angle, and I am going to move the camera to this view so we have a better view of what's happening at the wall. Okay, so we're going to try to sustain the pelvis and the lumbar spine in a neutral position. And now we're only going to move the rib cage up and down. And it's not going to be a big movement because there's not a lot of space to move here. So it's really kind of like letting your chest drop forward between the shoulder blades, coming down, and then up. It's a very small movement, it's not big. I'm trying to exaggerate it so you see it, but it's not a big movement. Okay, and now we'll bring our head towards the wall and then push with the hands into the wall and bring it away. Forward and away. You'll feel it a lot in the shoulders, a lot in the shoulder blades. And release. Shake it up. All right. I'm sweating here. And let's come down to all fours, and we'll do the same thing, but this time with our arms forward. So on all fours, let your chest come towards the floor and then away. So the shoulder blades here come towards each other, and now they come apart. So let's do a few repetitions here. Keep your head neutral. All right, and release. Let's come back to the wall. Okay, so we'll bring our hand to the wall with your fingers pointing back. And make sure that your hand is about shoulder height. Now, if you're feeling any sharp pinching sensation in the shoulder, or you know that you have an issue with your rotator cuff, just bring your hand a little bit lower where you do not feel that pain. Or if you have any bursitis in your shoulder joint, so you'll just bring it lower. If it's still okay to keep it shoulder height, go for that. Okay, and really spread the fingers and press a little bit of weight into the wall so that there's a good action happening here. It's not loose, but your arm is really pressing into the wall. Now bring your left hand to your chest and you're gonna open up to turn and look away from the wall. And once you find a good stretch here, we'll pause, hold, and take deep breaths into the chest. And slowly release that arm, shake it out. If you need to move that wrist around, do that. All right. We'll go again. Same position of the hand into the wall, fingers pointing back. And now we'll reach our other arm up and over and back. Let's do the reach on the inhale and exhale back. And think about really opening up your whole side body. Feels great. I feel it all the way down in the side of my hips too. Let's do 2 more. And the next time your hand comes to the wall, let's hold here. With that top hand, reach for the other hand's wrist. Keep pushing into the wall and turn the chest to look up towards the sky. And release. Shake it out. All right, so to do the other side, I'm going to be facing away from you. But we already know what we're doing. So fingers pointing back. Hand to the chest and turn to face away from the wall. And big breaths into the chest. Release, shake it out. Same hand to the wall. This time, sorry. Okay, so this time we'll bring the other arm up and over on the inhale. Let's count 10. bring your hand up and over, reach for your other wrist, and turn your rib cage to look up towards the ceiling. Release. Shake it up. Release the wrist too. Okay. Now let's find our stick. And stand up. Okay. I want to tilt a little bit higher. Okay, so hold the stick really wide. So I'm all the way on the edge of my broomstick. Inhale, lift the arms, take them back, and see if you can go all the way through. And forward. So what's important here is as we lift the arms, think about drawing the front ribs in and down, keeping this space, this gap between the ribs and the pelvis tight. Show it sideways. There's quite an effort to keep those ribs in and down. Take big breaths as you pass the stick over and back. All right. Come back to neutral. Feet wide, knees receptive. Turn the toes to in the same direction as your kneecaps, and we're going to go side to side. I'm inhaling here as I open up the side. Exhale to come back to center. Inhale, open up. Exhale to center. One more. All right. It's a good one. Okay, now stick on the floor. So we're going to use the stick like a counterbalance, and we'll take our hips back, back, back. Make sure that the stick is stable, that it's not going to slide. So it's better if it's on the yoga mat, or if you're on carpet, even better. Just make sure that you're not going to slide out. So and take the feet wide. Squeeze the legs towards the midline. Those ribs in and down, belly in. Squeeze also your glutes. And as you reach the stick forward, reach the hips back. Creating a lot of length here. And come back down. All right. Holding the stick around your back. just below the shoulder blades. Elbows can be bent. Feet wide. And we'll go side to side. Keeping those ribs, front ribs down and in. Exhale on the twist. Inhale to come back. And release. Woo! That's a good one. Okay, release the stick. And just a few times to release any tension in the back. We'll slowly, slowly, slowly let your spine roll down, let your arms drop. And then roll up. The slower, the better. Shoulders back. Let's do 2 more like that, really slow. Try to lengthen the breath. I'm exhaling slow on the way down. And then inhale on the way up, filling up all this space in the back of the lungs, like you're floating, you're filling up your back like a balloon, and that's what lifts you up. That felt really good for me. So let's come now down to the floor, and we'll use our foam roller. Okay. So we'll start on our back. Make sure that your hair doesn't get caught in the foam roller. It can be quite uncomfortable. Okay. With your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Interlace your hands behind your head. And we'll roll here. Back and forth. Make sure to adjust your legs so that you can find a good angle and enough space to move. And I would say just go for it, whatever feels good here. You can roll all the way up to the neck. And all the way down towards the lumbar spine. Just make sure that your neck is supported with your hands. Now we'll come to the side. So come onto your forearm. And there's different things you can do here, different ways you can support your body. One way that I like is to make the most emphasis on this leg and this foot pushing down, and the other leg is kind of helping to follow and balance. So we're going for the side of the ribs, and there's a lot of muscles here that attach to the shoulder blade. You can come all the way up to the shoulder blade. If you find a place that's nice and juicy, you can hold here and take a few breaths. Maybe you find a good spot here and roll now side to side. Use the breath. So if you find a good spot, hold there and take a deep breath or two right there. You can really explore the whole rib cage on your foam roller. Now, if you're using anything different than a foam roller that is tough, that is hard, roll over it a blanket so that there's some cushioning. Otherwise, it feels really intense to have like something sharp, something hard into the bone, into the ribs. So give yourself some cushion there. All right, and let's go to the other side so you'll see me from the back view. Also support your head here. And finding different interesting places and rolling side to side. Right. And we can put that to a side. Now let's find our blanket and we'll make a blanket roll. So more or less like this, and of course you can make it more, less big or more, depending on what you're going for today. So we'll bring the blanket across the mat, and the blanket will lay right on or just under the shoulder blade. So the blanket will come out right under our armpits. So it'll be right here. lay back. So you should see that the blanket comes out right below your armpit. And if it's comfortable for your head, you can just let it drop back to the floor. If it's uncomfortable for your neck, then by all means bring a cushion and support your head. So you don't want to feel any intense sensation in the neck. You want to protect it, keep it safe. I'm going to do it without the cushion because it gives me a nice opening of the upper part of my rib cage. And let the knees be bent, knocked in towards the center. Oh, this also feels good to sway the knees a little side to side. Just let your body rest here. Take deep breaths into your chest. And now slowly roll the blanket a little bit lower or scoot up a tiny bit and rest here. Scoot the blanket another couple inches lower. And a little bit lower. So now the blanket is on the upper part of my pelvis. And even lower, so now the blanket is on my sacrum. blanket completely. You can bring it under your knees. And we'll rest here for a minute. Letting everything go, letting your body melt into the floor. And slowly roll to your side to come up to seated, or you can stay on the floor resting for as long as you like. And I'll say goodbye. Have a good weekend. Hope you get some sunshine, you get to go out, go camping, hiking, swimming in a river, in a lake, wherever you can get out to this weekend. Enjoy the outdoors. It's beautiful here. Wherever you're at, just look for nature. That's where it's safe. That's where we feel where we come from. Move whatever you do this weekend, move your body. If you want to have more mobility, move. That's all it takes. Changing habits. Okay, everyone. Enjoy. See you again Monday for Mindful Monday. Ciao, ciao.